Welcome to the 100 Podcast. I'm Dan, your mountain man.
And I'm Olga, the one crew warrior.
And we have gone through this trailer for Season 7 quite a few times at this point.
I think, honestly, too many times to count.
And since then, we've also done a little bit of research. We've gotten some help from viewers at home like you over on the Twitters. I'm going to say thank you real quick to @Ivana2804, @KindZuzu, @Becky_Travels, @Nicole Anel for all of their helpful tidbits, factual and otherwise. And we're going to break this trailer down scene by scene, frame by frame. But first, what did you think?
So, on first watch, for me, this trailer, succeeded in what I wanted it to do. Which is, it got me hype, it got me excited. We've been waiting for it for so long.
Yeah.
So long. That it was just kind of like, yes, it's our people, it's some new footage, this seems dynamic. I'm down.
Yeah.
But. And then, the more we watched it, the more we took it apart, I realized, it's actually not seemingly from as many episodes, as I initially thought.
It seems like a lot of it's from very early on, with a few scattered things from later.
And there's a lot of reused footage.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
a
bummer.
So there's a few things with the reused footage. I think the optimistic point of view there is it's like, hey, it's the final season, we are hearkening back to where it all began, and maybe thematically we're going to wrap up, sort of these ideas and stuff like that. But I think cynically, it's COVID happened, it's old footage that we could easily pop in there that will get people potentially maybe excited. I do think that this trailer is affected both by, I think, the rush because of COVID, but also probably by spoiler phobia.
That's my slightly less cynical thing, because I'm like, I don't want to imagine that COVID deprived us of a better trailer.
I think there's a lot of interesting things for us to break down here, but at the same time, I think that if you look at last season's trailer, A, it's double the length. B, it has a bit of an arc to it.
Yes.
There's a story here, and it's setting up, this is what this plot line is. They're not giving away that Clark died or anything like that.
Right.
Or they're not even really telling us what the mind drives. But they're setting up, we're going to this new planet. There's crazy shit here. There's interesting sets. There's interesting people. Whereas the best it gives us is some anomaly stuff and some, there's trouble at Sanctum afoot.
But,
yeah. But, the fact that we can guess, it seems like Bellamy's taken away into the anomaly or something, but the fact that that's not expressly said in dialogue, and also a lot of people struggle with the fact that Bellamy in general was barely in this.
Yeah, it's weird to have your main co-lead, to just be mostly gone.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that does have to do with spoiler hiding.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a part of this that really it did. One of the things that got me very excited, and this was the 132 years ago part that we're gonna see, and yet that was right after a bunch of footage from the past season. So I feel in some ways,
actually, it leads off the footage from the.
Well, in any case, wow! No matter how many times I've rewatched it, I still don't have this trailer's chronology memorized. But in any case, even though that's tied together, I'm like, those words accomplish what that footage does.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, one of the things that people helped us out with was that there's a scene that we'll get to where Bellamy's talking to Clark, and that's even used from a previous season.
Yeah.
So, the only scene that seemed like maybe it was from later in the season
was the exact opposite.
That seemed like it was Clark and Bellamy actually interacting, wasn't even a new piece of information.
Yeah.
I want to say on the flip side of all this, I don't like spoilers. So,
it's weird that we're taking apart a thing.
Generally speaking, I don't want, major... I'm not a spoiler phobe to the point of, I don't want to know what's happening in the premiere, but I don't want to know what's happening in the back half. So, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Here we have Sanctum, I believe, and the anomaly probably right after Octavia goes pooey.
And it's expanding. Yeah, that's my assumption as well.
And then... So here we have a different shot of Sanctum. We see the fields and all that, and we have Gaia here, and this is leading directly into this next shot of Clark with the ring of her father.
Yeah, that Gabby, that Abby had.
Yeah. And she is saying goodbye to her mom here.
Yeah. Just, this seems to me very, like, premiere stuff. That's fine.
Yeah. The thing I like the most about it is that we are getting her with Gaia and their connection. And there's a few different scenes of them together in this that I like quite a bit.
Yeah.
Great performance, obviously.
Right. We already know.
Yeah. More scenery.
The woods.
Now we got Bellamy.
Yeah.
Very
That's Octavia's
sad.
blood.
Yeah.
She
go pooey.
She stabbed and she poof.
And then we have him crumpling over here.
Yeah.
Again, all probably...
The radio tower...
Yeah.
Stump.
The radio stump. That's the official name. Assumingly this all is right after Octavia.
More premiere stuff.
He's sad. He
My God, though. Like, that,
tear.
single tear dropping, the first 3 times that we saw this, I was just like, oh, he's so good. It's so sad. He's going to be crying real hard. Like,
I mean, that's the
I'm
thing
down.
is we don't get a lot of Bellamy, but we do get a very good Bellamy.
Yeah.
So...
Tortured Bellamy, the way we like it.
So now we have Dioza and Octavia, assumedly pre-Octavia going pooey, but she's in the anomaly. They're in some planet. Do you think, is this one of those helmets?
I was thinking that. It's a shiny metal orb.
Yeah.
And I can sort of see the triangle pixelation on it.
Maybe it's one of those anomaly helmets. We'll see later.
We'll see.
But this supposedly is when they are happy, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And the thing, then the dialogue they say here is basically, she's like, your brother left you to die. Why are you so eager to go back to him? Why aren't we enough? So she's all upset. She wants to leave the anomaly.
Presumably the we is Dioza and Hope.
Yeah.
So they have this. I kind of see it as a very sisterly relationship that they set up in season 6. So it's she's Dioza, she's Hope's aunt, and why would she want to go back to the brother? But I love this juxtaposition of Bellamy crying, Octavia crying.
Yeah.
It's connecting them, and I feel again the goal of the season is to going to be to reconcile them.
Yeah, or hopefully get them back together. Or I think a lot of it's also going to be about Bellamy letting go of my sister, my responsibility, but in maybe a positive way.
Yeah.
As opposed to some of the darker letting go of that.
Yeah. The murdery kind.
Yeah. Pay attention to the clothes here as they'll change and shift.
I think I like Octavia's cool blue leather jacket.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That looks interesting.
Is it leather or is it
looks
denim?
leathery because of the way it cracks. It looks kind of leathery.
Then we have Echo here. She's looking out again, seemingly right after everything with Octavia.
This looks sort of... At first I thought this was Sanctum-y, but this looks very, rugged.
I think this is Gabriel's spot.
Yeah, I think this is Gabriel's spot.
Yeah, and then she has the long hair still,
yeah.
so... Because then it goes directly... Well, okay, so right now, Gabriel is talking about isolation sickness or madness, and we cut to this.
This was the first thing that was meant to be what the fuck, and I think it achieves its goal. Crazy man playing chess with a doll. What more do you want in terms of craziness?
Yeah, and all the dead people.
Oh, that too.
So this evokes, our assumption here is that this is Cadigan.
Yes.
That is an assumption. It doesn't necessarily look like the same actor. I wouldn't be shocked if it is the same actor and it was just weird, the makeup and the hair and everything.
I personally think it is the same actor, and he just looks dirty and
But I also
disheveled.
Wouldn't be shocked if they recast him as someone who just looks similar, because it's not like most viewers will remember that
the 2 seconds
performance, quote unquote. I mean, it was barely anything.
Yeah.
But we assume it's Cadigan. He's crazy. He has the long hair. Surrounded by maybe people that came with him in the anomaly and they got time dilated or something, or radiated.
They look mummified.
Yeah.
They look shriveled in their own skin. So to me that is, if it's it's isolation madness, he's been isolated away from people, taken through the anomaly.
Yeah.
and people were ripped apart.
Reminds me of Umbrella Academy with the doll thing.
Yeah. Another thing to note is that he's playing chess, and that is a shade Hedda-y thing.
Yep. And I wanted to jump over to this, which is another shot. Potentially, is it when it's happening to them? I think it is. Or is it that they're frozen like that?
I think he's frozen like that. Especially, again, if he was trapped in that position, it's like time passed over or through him, then he wouldn't be able to react. But it looks like the same guy leaning against the tree branch.
So this is
that guy over there on the far right.
And this is Gabriel saying thing. So then we get to this shot of Octavia. It's important to note the clothing here.
Yeah, they're different from... This is an outfit we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the thing she's wearing when she's wrestling / cuddling with Tioza. But it's also not what she ran into the anomaly wearing. At least the coat isn't.
Yeah.
So this is, like, at least a very different moment in time to
and
me.
She's falling down.
Or has already slid through this mud.
Hurt in some way. The question is this before or after the shot at 47 seconds?
We're getting there.
There we go. So same outfit.
I think so.
Yeah. And so that's important to note because we don't know if that was maybe her escaping from here or did she fall down and then they grab her and bring her
She ran away already and then they dragged her back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, those look like the same pants, seemingly the same tank top. We'll get back to this.
Well, no, so why don't we talk about this?
You want to talk about it? All right, sure.
So
what is this place?
Yeah, so first of all, a lot of people were thinking this guy looks like Dante from season 2. Maybe this could be a young Cage from season 2.
Mount Weather.
Yeah, Mount Weather had the white walls and all that stuff.
Down in the, quarantine
Yeah.
day.
I don't know if I buy that.
I don't think so, personally.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this is, first of all, we never saw these kinds of lab coats in season 2.
Yeah.
And we had doctors in that environment. We had people afraid of the radiation or whatever. I think this is something that can be, inspired by that tech. It's a unifying thing. But to me, this is a completely new party of people.
He does look like Dante, though. Even his ears look similar. I don't know. I could see it going either way. The point is, this is clearly a pivotal area as we see it a few other times in the trailer, which I'll just go to as we go.
Mm-hmm.
But people are talking about, this is very divergent-y. What are they doing to her brain? Is it some sort of simulation?
I see it as she made it through the anomaly maybe somehow and survived or learned something. So this is a craniotomy style thing.
Well, also she's important in some way, I believe.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that.
This is a mystery, that's for sure.
That's one of the more interesting shots for sure. All right. So we go from her over to Sanctum. Let's put the audio on for this.
We want the same thing, Clark. Peace.
Okay.
All right.
So we'll get back to the Sanctum stuff. But basically Sanctum, there's some shit going down.
There's unrest. We'll see more of that.
Yeah.
Okay,
now this is an important shot. Basically, this is Bellamy.
This has to be Bellamy.
If you see it here,
and specifically his rear.
Yeah.
No.
If you see his hair, like you said, people were talking about his butt not being right.
I think this is a dummy. If you go back a second, those ankles and feet are
She doesn't think this is actually Bob.
I think that's a doll.
But we do think it's Bellamy.
But we think it's Bellamy.
And I believe you can. Yes, you see.
So we see
Tassia.
First of all, this is the radio tower. He collapsed right next to it out of grief. This has to be him being kidnapped by someone.
Something. Yeah, and Echo is running after him.
And she still has the long hair. Yeah. I don't know what, but something took him.
Okay, so this is, again, probably all premiere stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It is talking about Sanctum. The important thing here is that she has her ponytail back. Yes. She has a red jacket, not the red jacket, but, all harkening back to her roots here.
Classic Raven.
This does seem like a good trailer for Raven, for sure.
Also, Raven plus Murphy plus Amori. Love the trio, so never upset about seeing
Do you think that maybe Jordan in the background?
Maybe. Yeah. All right, so speaking of the powder keg,
so this is the rioting. It looks like this might be Children of Gabriel.
Yeah, based on their camo outfits and the masks, and then there's Gabriel's right hand guy.
Yeah, And then I believe this is one crew.
It looks like one crew to me, based on, again, the outfits that we saw of them on the Ark.
Yeah, and that they have guns.
They have guns, which the
Nulls.
The Nulls didn't have. They used
they mostly used spears and things. Yeah, so. I from what I remember, you know, we haven't rewatched season 6 yet.
Right, yeah.
We are going to.
We promise.
But yeah, this is definitely unrest. It seems like there's a bit of a civil war going on here. There's issues with one crew, but one crew that's like one crew, but then also the Allegis prisoners are having problems, and then showing Gabriel, and then the Sanctomite believers.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
So much.
And so then this is Clark. I'll put the audio back.
Yep.
Are the last of the human race.
So she's yelling at all the different people.
These look like believers of the Primes.
Yeah. And then we cut to sort of, I think, symbolically showing a similar idea of the guy like bent over, right?
I think this is a completely different scene.
Yeah.
Like this, or I should say a completely different locale.
Yeah.
That's within seemingly like the diner area of the restaurant of Sanctum, whereas this might be, because of the dining chairs, it's like the mess hall place.
This might be the Cadigan stuff.
I think that's what I was going to say. This might be a failed bunker of Cadigan's people who were killed by radiation.
Let's put audio back.
I say we live and let die.
She is shocked.
I mean, Murphy letting go of a grudge or revenge. I mean, it's a survivor's move, but...
So now this is the first time we see the place where Octavia was. I don't know if this could be Echo too.
I was thinking that. I'm not 100% convinced that this is Octavia because, I mean, you see the hexagon.
It's the same location. For sure.
I suppose.
I think it's definitely...
Unless there are more hexagons in other places.
It's just, well, it might be this like a different part of the building, but I think this is somebody waking up, and it could be Octavia in that scene that we see actually in like 5 seconds, but also there's a scene of Echo in the same spot.
Yeah.
So this is Octavia saying shush to young Hope.
This has to be young Hope.
Yeah.
So they're hiding from someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then later on we see a shot of eyes peeking out of a little crevice.
Yeah,
that's probably...
I think that's what it looks like, a child's face.
Yeah.
Echo with the short hair. Yes. Big yes.
I'm a fan, for sure. I assume showing that time is dilated. I mean, she could just cut her hair, but...
that seems like an odd thing to just show
just
someone doing, but maybe.
Yeah, and she has... This is the first time we see these suits that are
Her
like...
and Gabriel are wearing...
the anomaly attire.
Yeah. She has smudges on her forehead. I think that might tie together
to... that's a good point, with the tattoo stuff.
Yeah, if that is even tattoos. We'll get there.
Yeah, especially if...
With Hope,
maybe she just does it to, like, blend in.
We'll get there. I wanna bring something up a little later.
All right, and then we have anomaly stuff.
I think that's Gabriel.
I think that's probably Gabriel. It's hard to tell, though.
Yes.
Change. You are the key to winning the last war mankind will ever wage.
Do we think that he's talking about Clark, or do we think it might be Maddie?
Well, I definitely think that this is the same scene. That even looks like in the foreground that might be Clark.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the assumption is Clark, because these other people are all pretty minor characters.
Well, I just am wondering if we have someone hidden in this shot somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's probably her, or it could be Maddie. Right?
Yeah, I
Maddie
think it might be Maddie.
Yeah.
I feel like she should be more important in this last season.
Especially because this is pretty Sanctum-y. And like they're at the radiation fence. I think this is probably pretty early on, because this looks like the same outfit that Clark was wearing at the beginning.
Not the same one Guy is wearing, obviously. It's not a purple robe, but also it makes sense that Guy would like maybe defend Maddie still.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, so he's wearing those crazy that uniform.
I noticed that. He has this like the tubing that we see of people in relation to like anomaly travel, it seems.
So my guess is that I think this is the end of the premiere, because I think he's setting up those people or whatever, and that will like set it off for them. Also, people pointed out the fun of it being like the little LGBT group. Because,
Plus that random guy.
Yeah, well, maybe, you don't know.
Maybe.
Because we have
We
Nathan.
just can't say for certain.
Yeah, we have Nathan, we have Clark, we have Nyla, and then Gaia was supposed to have a lesbian storyline.
Okay,
And,
I didn't know that.
They're standing right there. So
that means they're in love now. Let them have love. Why not?
Kind will ever wage.
I used to think fighting is
All right. I think this is more premiere stuff of post Riot, post Sanctum.
Then we have a little bit of Baby Hope. No, so Clark is saying, I used to think fighting is what we do. Now I wonder if it's what we are. I think sort of setting up, like restating some of the questions and theses as we go into the finale. You know, are there no good guys? Do we just do what we need to do to survive? You know, some of the stuff Jasper was saying about, like, are we the problem?
Yeah.
She's back to questioning that.
The big thesis of the show.
Yeah, and definitely, you know, this is right after the Abby situation. And I like that they're talking. I think she looks sad.
Yeah. Who doesn't? All right.
So, interesting stuff here. As we get into the violence. Okay, so first of all,
That's Clark
punching
someone up in Sanctum.
Is that not Russell?
I think it might be Russell.
I think that's Russell.
I think that is a body double. Russell.
All right, so now we have the Shink. I'm going to say this is either Echo being awesome in this outfit, or maybe this is like the weapons that all of these
I agree. I think this is someone we might not know.
Yeah.
But there's that like shoulder tubing, the badass face mask.
Yeah, really like that. So this is for
cool.
traveling through the anomaly, maybe protects you from some of the dilation issues or the radiation issues. Maybe it helps with your memory, because I remember people were like losing their minds and memories and things like that. All sorts of stuff. So yeah, we get a bunch of shots really quickly here. We get this shot, I think, of Hope.
I think it has to be Hope hiding.
And then we
have
saw
this
that
guy.
one.
All right. This guy has forehead tattoos or forehead markings. He's beat up.
Is this the guy we think is Cat again? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
It might be. Who knows?
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
The guy who was driven mad by the isolation.
Certainly, it's no one we obviously know off the top of our head. Now, we already talked about this. Then we can see another shot of Russell being upset. And then we get into the 132 years ago.
Right.
And I do like this harkening back. It's just certain shots that I care about more than others.
I don't necessarily beyond, like, we don't really need Abby saying goodbye to Clark when we already had Clark mourning Abby like twice in this trailer.
And then also this is interesting to harken back, because this is obviously much less farther ago. But I think this is core to the themes and to Octavia's journey is remembering Blood Reina and, you know, looking for redemption and all that.
Yeah. And the next shot is one crew marching.
Yeah.
If you fail, all our people are dead too.
All right. So this is interesting because when we first watched this, we thought this was new. And I was like, oh, it's the only shot of Bellamy and Clark together. But this is actually an old shot from 6/11. Thank you to Zizou and others for reminding us of this. It does cut out part of the line.
Which is one of the reasons I do think that we were like, oh, this is new, because the stuff that gave it context was...
Yeah, because he says, you know, if Russell knows you're not his daughter, all of our people will die. So this is both, you know, in the flashback section... It's also, you know, I argue maybe it's partially a misdirect so that they we have some Bellamy talking to Clark.
Yeah.
But it also might just be core to the themes of the season of, like, you know, if you're doing these big gambles, they have big consequences, stuff like that.
Yeah. I think that we should expect some big changes for Bellamy.
Yeah.
Or within Bellamy if they are... like keeping him so under wraps in this trailer.
Well, it's also like, where did he go? Who took him? Did someone take, you know, like, we're assuming that he was taken. Maybe he was for like an episode, but then what happens after, you know?
Yeah. Or maybe he's gone from the first third and when he shows back up.
Well, because it's notable that it's not just that he's not with Clark, it's that he's not with anyone except for Octavia near the very end of the trailer, which I think is way later in the season. Yeah.
We'll see.
So this is more flashbacks. Yeah. In retrospect, maybe we should have realized that was a flashback, because this is just continuing.
Yeah, I think we were just really excited to see Bellamy.
May we meet again.
More of that great scene.
The anomaly is a wormhole.
So this is the first like really interesting bit here where we get confirmation that the anomaly is a wormhole, and that was hinted at in the opening credits for season 7 they released.
Yeah, we saw all these symbols behind the actor who plays Gabriel behind his name.
Yeah, I
I
think behind maybe Murphy.
Yeah. We
so,
still don't actually know what these symbols all mean.
It's interesting that this one looks like a double helix.
Well, 2 of them look like double helixes.
So I'm assuming they're traveling different planets.
Mm-hmm.
That this is him looking at like a map of how the anomaly works or whatever.
Actually, 3 of them look like double helixes. Just one of them is actually half a helix.
Yeah.
A single helix.
And it's that one too.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
So
this is interesting.
Yeah.
It's also interesting that Jordan is the one looking at this.
Yeah. I'm very fascinated whether... Do you think that they course corrected and Jordan isn't going to be bad?
I freaking hope so. I hope they deprogram him early.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of not into the zombie character for an extended period of time.
I mean, okay, I do want to go back and watch that finale. I mean, obviously we're going to. But, like, do you think we were reading too much into it? Like, he said he was upset. And he was kind of a dick to Bellamy, but that could just be him, like, being upset. And then, like, yeah, he holds on to Priya's mind drive, but that might just be him, like, remembering Priya or something.
You don't have him be, like, successful. They showed him being kidnapped by successfully drugged by the, like, Sanctum priests or whatever.
Yeah.
That if they course correct to him just being sad about
Everything.
the violence, then that's fine. But I mean, in the finale, I am 100% convinced that they wanted us to see these things as connected.
Yeah, because he is so core to all the positive groups of people, and I think he seems pretty core to working with Raven to get all this to happen.
I don't want him to be like a spy there to like...
Nothing in this trailer hints at him being bad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's
only like background information. But this is really cool. I guess it indicates them going from one planet to
another.
The final journey.
All right. So we're at this ice planet. I joked it was Hoth. But I have some information with the ice planet. So this is Nakara, which we know from the opening credits. And due to cold temperatures, the only way to live on that planet is underground. So there are several different cave entrances that you can go down.
How do we know this?
I have no idea. I found it on the wiki. might be in the opening credits, really small or something.
Maybe. So guys, unverified information. Maybe some kind of spoiler that someone dug up.
I mean, it's not a crazy thing figure out.
Just saying, let's take this with a grain of salt.
This group looks like the group we see in the next shot.
I
assume it's the same people here. I did, when I was just looking at my notes, it reminded me. So one thing I didn't mention when we were talking about Cadigan early on is that the premiere is titled From the Ashes, and obviously that notes From the Ashes We Will Rise, which is a Cadigan quote.
Yep.
And so the premiere having Cadigan in it wouldn't be shocking.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I believe there are 6 people here, but there are only 5 standing on the ice planet. Yeah. And it also tracks that Jordan would be left behind to stare at the screen as maybe our 5 people here traveled. Yeah. Can you click back to see if I'm right about the quantity of people? That is 5 people. So
I wouldn't be shocked if that was Jordan, though.
Unclear. Yeah. It could also be Gaia with
or it could be Miller.
Yeah. Point is that I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility that these are all like connected in very early... Like maybe episode 2.
Just want to say, I really like Clark's new outfit.
I love it. Her in leather jackets. It's where it's at.
And the fucking suits are fucking great.
Yeah, I wonder if Raven's brace is under that suit.
Yeah, people were talking about the brace.
Really?
Yeah, whether they've been so bad about the brace.
The fact that either her brace is in the shot or her ponytail's in the shot. We can't have both anymore.
And this is Nyla, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I like how much Nyla and Gaia we seem to be getting.
I'm down. Yeah. They're great. And Miller, always happy to see Miller.
So that she's saying the anomaly goes anywhere, basically, and everywhere.
Have the tubing.
So this is interesting too. So this is people bursting out of the anomaly, and our question is whether these are good guys or bad guys.
I'm voting bad guys.
Yeah.
Because she looks, she could be scared without knowing who's in there.
So this is the same outfit she's wearing at the beginning with Octavia. She is sort of like tilling the ground or raking or something.
She's disheveled looking.
Yeah. And so that we think they're bad guys because this is a canted angle,
Yes.
which usually is like,
Horror
off-kilter.
movie,
Yeah.
things are bad.
I mean, I argued that maybe she could think they were bad guys and then they take off their helmets.
Yeah.
But I think they're probably bad guys.
They're bad guys.
Especially because we know Dioza seems to be taken.
Yes.
Um,
And also beat up later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indra,
on
same
the
world,
ground.
different problems at Sanctum, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. This was so cool.
Yeah.
You have the green glow of the anomaly
Yeah.
underwater. Someone's floating up. These jellyfish look really cool.
Yeah. I assume this is some sort of water planet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very interstellar.
All right. This is Nikki.
We did not know this information.
Yeah. So she is punching our girl here.
We're pretty sure it's Raven that she's
wait,
beating up.
I think it. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. There we go.
That looks like Raven to me.
Definitely. She even has
Or
the
Maddie.
No, she has the red jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is from the premiere. I would be willing to bet.
All right.
So let me tell you about Nikki. So Elena Huffman, that's her, is going to appear in this season alongside Chad Rook, and they're both Allegius convicts. Nikki is one of the newly awakened Allegius convicts. Nikki is a bank robber and spree killer who is both unpredictable and fierce. She will take on an unexpected leadership role advocating for her people. So she is sort of going to be, within this civil war, one of the leads.
Yep.
Because we don't have Dioza with them anymore.
So now that Dio's and McCreary
Yeah.
rest in peace, rest in not peace.
Rest in hell.
Yeah, there we go. Now that they're off the table, at least in the context of the convicts,
Mhm.
it makes sense that they would have a new person stepping
Yeah.
into that. Because like you said earlier, one crew is one crew. They would follow Indra, they would follow Octavia, but these guys are the
Yeah.
wild card.
And then, so Chad Rook is playing Hatch, quality name, a charming Allegius convict who is determined to forge a better life for those he loves. So, here's the thing, like...
This totally seems like a rehash of Dioza and McCreary.
Yeah, but... Well, no, I think Hatch is going to be more positive if he's forging a life for those he loves. It's not exactly
Okay.
McCreary.
I was actually putting him as Dioza.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. As for Hatch/Chad, I did not seem to notice him anywhere in the trailer. I looked up the actor, and he's like a handsome blonde dude. I mean, he could dye his hair. He could be
Shave it off and be...
Yeah. He could be bald. He could be wearing a beard or something. I just didn't notice. If anybody notices Hatch anywhere in here, let me know. So yeah, she's punching her. And then we have this interesting shot.
It is. I think that's Bellamy tied to a pole.
It looks like it would be Bellamy. And then we have this
Bellamy
explosion, which at first you thought might be like a bomb. But when you see at the end here, people are flying
3 people
out of it.
flip out of this thing.
And I think it's an anomaly related thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though it's different and interesting because it's blue. Yeah.
And that reminds me more of that blue room.
Mm-hmm. So
You know what else is blue?
What?
That ice planet.
Oh.
So.
Give me blue balls over here. So we have Hope here, which I did not recognize her
We did
at
not
all.
recognize her at first.
Yeah.
Only afterwards when you were like, it's weird that Hope wasn't in
Yeah.
this trailer. I was like, was she that blonde girl with the short hair?
Yeah.
And we convinced ourselves it wasn't because she doesn't have forehead tattoos.
Yeah. But then we saw the smudging.
It turns out this probably aren't tattoos.
Yeah.
We've been calling them tattoos this whole time.
Yeah, markings maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we were calling them tattoos because they were tattoos on
Octavia's
Octavia.
back,
So,
yeah.
and maybe some people actually get tattoos. Maybe I wouldn't be shocked if she and Echo were both pretending to be in those groups and
Yeah.
just used paint or whatever.
In any case, she looks cool. And she is in the opening title sequence. So she's a series regular.
Along with Gabriel and Russell.
Yes. Yeah. And not Imori.
Yeah.
And not Maddie.
Yeah.
So, guys.
Not very much Maddie in this trailer.
Yeah.
Interestingly.
Which, again, maybe could lead to the fact that she actually isn't important and they change their minds about the Shadehead plot. All right.
So this seems like a potential radiation poisoning kind of thing.
This looks like radiation to me. This looks like a guy who we see his face being melted later on. He's wearing the same clothing. We think this is related to Cadigan.
And maybe one of the fake bunkers.
Yeah.
So let's put the audio on for this.
Let's go back a little
So
bit.
he's all beaten up. This is probably after he was punched by
Yeah.
Clark.
I think they showed stuff a little out of order because we see him with this like nose injury and the eye injury earlier in the trailer, but he's cleaned up.
Yeah.
So I think they're just kind of
out of order.
Out of order, yeah.
ranks. Tomorrow, Russell Prime dies for his.
So, yeah, he's sort of talking to the children of Gabriel, being like, yeah, we're going to fucking kill Russell.
I think this is all Premiere stuff.
Yeah.
It makes sense. She's bitter and vengeful
Yeah.
about the fact that her mother is dead, and she sort of had to kill her.
But clearly, he does not die here.
You don't die in the Premiere if you're a series
regular. Yeah.
I can't let you die to save me.
All right. So we assume this is Octavia talking to Bellamy because of the way it's cut. Oh, also,
we see
the knife of the person.
And we see a little bit of the helmet.
Yeah, okay. So probably not Echo.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Unless they all have that weapon.
Yeah. Okay. We assume that she's talking to Bellamy because of how it's cut. I don't know if she is.
My question is, and I'm sorry, we haven't rewatched season 6 yet. Is this shot actually from the finale when the anomaly starts expanding, or when Octavia runs out of it? Or it
could even be from the very beginning of the premiere when but he looks more surprised. Like, I don't know. Even if this isn't, for one thing, we know that Bob gets shaven.
Yeah.
So Octavia saying that seems like it would be a later in the season thing. So maybe they just don't want to show him shaven. Yeah. So they're making the idea and the connection here.
Yeah. Again, linking these two. But I'm honestly not convinced that Octavia is talking to Bellamy in this.
She could easily be talking to Hope or Dioza or who knows who.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they're not in the blue
They're not.
spot.
They're somewhere
also,
else.
what is this outfit she's
I was
wearing?
going to say that. Yeah. It is neither the blue leather jacket, it's not the green sleeveless coat, it's not just her tank top.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't know.
So now we see, this is probably right after the people come out of the anomaly.
Or right before.
This is why we also think they're bad guys, is because she's like, being
things
bombed
are exploding
or shot or whatever.
and she's running.
Yeah. Okay, this is the guy we talked about before.
Melting. All right.
Interesting hot Murphy.
This is a great look from Murphy.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yes.
We learned nothing. The little bits of Murphy in here are very interesting.
I'm excited for his character stuff too. It sounds like he's trying to be the peacekeeper, the voice of reason. I mean, he again tried to betray his people in season 6 just to guarantee his and Amori's survival. Yeah. But now it's again about, have we learned nothing about reuniting with our group and as a people?
Who is he? He's in Sanctum, right?
Yes, this is Sanctum.
Yeah, I wonder who he's yelling at.
I'm going to say Clark.
I need death.
Is this what you want?
These are not two, connected things.
Directly in the same...
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have the blood.
He doesn't have... At least he looks pretty healed. So I think that's actually later in the season. Yeah. I need death. Maybe that's him with Shade Hedda inside of him.
And he's not talking to Clark.
No, that is not Clark.
I think this is Raven.
Might be Maddie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It could be Maddie, definitely.
And again, Clark.
All right. This is a great shot. Again, we were talking about Echo being in the same spot that Octavia was.
This is awesome.
Love the hair. Love
the markings on her forehead, on her cheek.
In the same suit again. Yeah. I think she's been separated from Bellamy for a significant period of time.
I think so too.
Yeah. This almost looks angry, or...
It seems like a warrior's like, charge!
People mention that she has red blood here. And she's a Nightblood. So, yeah, she got turned into a Nightblood. So that's probably somebody else's blood.
Yeah.
It's most likely. All right, this is also interesting because this appears to be the Cadigan guy. Who we're calling Cadigan.
Yeah, / isolation chest doll man.
And then who's this person?
I don't know.
Could it... I thought maybe it could be Hope. Maybe it's just some rando.
I don't know. What are the odds that... you said he was blonde, but what if this is Hatch?
It could be Hatch.
And he's been isolated
Hatch
away from
looked
people.
younger than this guy, I think. But
unless
I'm bad
they age
at that
him
kind
up.
of things.
I don't know if it's about the people that we love and protecting them.
I don't think so. Look at what he's wearing.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see.
It doesn't end here.
Again, the single tier things.
Yeah, another great moment. I'm really hoping we get a lot of good Raven and Clark stuff this season.
Yeah. Let's have them back. Unite over Abby's death and be like the sort of step siblings that I've always wanted you to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's wearing the tubing thing after traveling.
So this is more probably
I
from
think
the
this
premiere,
is
people
post-riot
fighting.
stuff.
The answer to all this violence isn't just more violence.
So that's the last line of the trailer.
Not
It's
a great
kind
last
of
line.
like, that's one of the things I don't love about the trailer is I don't feel like it ends with a bang.
Yeah.
This isn't the last shot, but yeah.
No.
You know, that this is the shot where he seems the or the line also where he seems the closest to the chipped version, like the delivery almost.
Yeah, the chipped version.
You know,
We've been watching season 3.
But it also, again, I feel like it could be retroactively just making him like a Monty figure.
Yeah. And I mean, look at how dirty he is. I don't think this is post-riot dirt. I think this is...
also, where the heck are they? This is not Sanctum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Murphy with a gun to his head, tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
God.
That's
sad.
We can't figure out who that is.
No.
Yeah. All right. So this is interesting. This is probably the closest to spoilers we get, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because we have Clark, Octavia, and Hope.
Yeah.
And Hope is not happy.
Neither is Octavia.
But definitely Clark is very unhappy.
You mean Hope is very unhappy. Like
my mother is dying over here. Unhappy.
Or being tortured or held hostage. Or
and
something.
it also is interesting because obviously the three of them are together, which is surprising.
Yeah. I thought that I saw a figure, if you go back a little bit, you sort of see a shadow of a woman. A silhouette.
Oh, is this Indra?
I don't know, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm pointing out that. That looks like a person.
Maybe, but this is I think this is Indra.
I can't tell.
Yeah, because there's another arm. It's just somebody else.
It's somebody.
Yeah. Now, you know, this could be all about Dioza. That seems like the most likely conclusion. Also, with time dilation, she could have formed a strong bond with somebody else. Maybe she has a lover of some sort. I don't know. It's also interesting because could this be the reverse shot of the Echo shot? I don't think so. It's not quite blue enough.
This isn't quite blue enough, and it's not quite white enough either. But this is an interesting location.
Yeah.
I don't know where this is.
Oh, the chaos. Now, this is interesting. I believe this
looks
is...
like Russell.
I think this is Russell. I don't think it's the Cadigan guy. I think this is Russell.
It looks like he has injuries around his eyes.
And this is a knife and a Maddie, I believe.
But the blood is red.
Yeah, but it could be from his hand paint. Or something.
No, it's not paint. It's never paint. It's always blood.
People think this might be Shade Hedda in Russell.
Yeah.
When
Maddie. I say Russell, I mean like the meat puppet of Russell.
Yeah. That's the best guess I have here.
Yeah.
Unless it is the Cadigan guy, which it's so dark I can't really tell.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely Maddie though, right?
That is Maddie. Yeah, it's not blonde. For a second, I thought it might be Hope. But, I mean, Maddie's gotten older. Yeah. Like, she's a bigger girl than she was. And
that does look like it's the blood on his hands.
Yeah.
But also, if it's Russell, I believe Russell's a Nightblood too,
well,
right?
He has to be.
Yeah, so...
So this is what I'm saying, is that I think that he's smearing someone else's blood. So whose blood could he be smearing who's not a Nightblood?
Yeah. Also, yeah, maybe that does make me think it's Cadigan. I don't know. Okay, then we go to here, which is very interesting.
This is another space travel or like time travel helmet because it's got the triangles on it. But this person clearly didn't make it.
Didn't go well for them, and they're buried. So I believe, obviously this is Octavia. I believe that this is her like gardening or something, and then she uncovers him. Interesting that it's a similar outfit to what Dioza's wearing.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same, because of the coloring, I think it's the same location as the Dioza and her sort of wrestling earlier. Yeah. But she's not wearing the exact same outfit.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this is like the start of her realizing something's up.
They're on another... I mean, maybe they already understand they're on another planet somehow, but...
I think she knows they're on another planet. I just think she's realizing that something is going on. That's
and that
not good.
There were other people there before them, maybe.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, that's basically it.
I think that's still the premiere thing of the anomaly expanding through Gabriel's camp.
This shot is kind of weird. I don't know if it's just the visual effects or something, but like, what is this black
It almost looks like it's a skull superimposed on...
Or even the helmets.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about, but... So that's it. And then we get the cool CW version of the logo.
Which I'm a fan of.
Yeah. And that's basically everything.
Yeah.
Do we want to read a couple quick emails?
Sure. Yeah. All right. So this first email is from Olivia ! Smiley face. It has been less than 2 minutes since I watched the trailer, and my feelings can be summed up by this. F-U-C-K.
Fuck.
Thank you, Dan. What if their children watching? Said the bad word. It feels like because they brought up 132 years ago, and the anomaly is a wormhole to anywhere, that the show may go to the direction you guys previously predicted. The kids, full-grown adults, will erase their mistakes by going back in time.
Mm-hmm.
As a viewer, I would be quite adverse to that, so please, writers, prove me wrong. It would feel so unsatisfying to have none of the characters remember their respective journeys and bonds. They would go back to being one note. Clark a princess, Bella slick-haired janitor, Murphy some shitty jagbag. Apologies, I feel like that term totally describes season 1 him, etc. What is a jagbag?
I do not know of these jaggy bags.
If this is a bad word in some other country or location than Massachusetts, then I'm sorry for saying it. Their struggles have made them who they are today, and I feel like it would be such a loss to erase it. But of course, I can think Jason seeing it being a totally deep and sci-fi ending. On a more positive note, how rad is Echo's haircut?
Dope.
It's so great. I've seen speculations that it is a post-breakup haircut. So hopefully we get to see Echo actually being a character without being in relation to Bellamy. Really, both would be so much better without the mopiness of having to deal with each other.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear your thoughts.
So as far as the Echo piece, I do think she's going to at minimum be separated from Bellamy for an extended period. So she's definitely going to get some of her own stuff. Unless it's, I mean, if she's at all focused on finding Bellamy, that might be something. But she'll get a lot of her own stuff, I think. Whether it's breakup, I don't know. I don't know that we're going to get to have moments like that with Bellamy in general for a while.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But as far as the time travel thing goes, I mean, you could come up with a way of doing it where people still remember what happened even though they changed time. But I don't think that's going to happen anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is that, so we have so much stuff that we think is in Cadigan's bunker or a fake bunker. And we know that there's a backdoor pilot in this season and that we're going to see characters from
the prequel.
Probably in there. Maybe that's where some of those shots are.
Yeah.
Are from as well. And maybe they'd find a way to like shoehorn in time travel in relation to that using the anomaly.
Yeah.
But to me, really, it is more about
I think the most they'll be able
travel.
to do is like view the past or something like that, or like gain access. The main reason at this point I don't think they're going to change the past is because that you have a prequel.
Yeah.
And I just don't. I don't think the prequel is going to take place in some alternate dimension or something.
And another factor is if they do try to change the past, I don't think they're going to try to change it just from like the time of the arc so that they just go back to who they were in season 1. I think they would try to like
stop the bombs.
Go back even further in relation to like Becca and the actual.
That actually reminds me. So I know that a lot of people are talking about how Jason said Interstellar is an important sort of connection to this.
Inspiration.
And that also deals with wormholes. And in the past, when we saw Josephine's time and stuff, it was like, oh, there are dust storms and things like that. I believe that was also happening in Interstellar, and it was a sign of like the world dying and that they were running out of resources and killing the planet.
That's another reason Allie wanted to like kill humanity.
Yeah. So in Interstellar, they're traveling to other planets as quickly as possible through wormholes to find another habitable place for the human race. If they went back in time and stopped the bombs, there would still be the problem of, hey, the world's dying. But if at that point they control the anomaly, they can spread out the people and get them to different planets and start new colonies and things like that. So I'm not throwing that out there as like not a possibility.
Right.
But I just think
it was our
unlikely.
prediction at one point.
Yeah, I just think it's unlikely at this point.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next email from Josie. Josephine. The 100 is my favorite show, and I've been watching since the beginning. Since the trailer came out, there is the theory going around that it's all been a simulation. I personally would be pissed if this ended up being the situation. Oh my God. All the character development and all the people who have died wouldn't mean as much anymore. It ruins the story, in my opinion. That's all I've got to say about the show, but love your guys' podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, so this is interesting. These two emails are coming at it from two different points of view of how can they fuck it up.
I wonder why.
And this...
You have little faith.
This is I would have a bigger issue with this than time travel.
Yeah.
Because at least with time travel, they would be making a choice to change everything. Simulation, if there are simulations within season 7, that's one thing.
Like Octavia being strapped down by some scientists and having her brain poked and played
Yeah, but if it is like, hey, things you've seen in the past didn't really happen, I'm not going to be on board with that at all.
That would be awful.
Yeah.
And that's also not very interstellar-y.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. We should probably watch Interstellar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should watch it not just on, like, FX with commercials and not in full.
Yeah.
Whoops. Anyway.
Wait, so you only watched, like, part of it?
I've seen the beginning, part of the middle, and the end.
I saw the majority of it, but I might have been making out with someone for most of it.
Not me. Well, I'm not wearing my engagement ring.
Oh. All right, and on that note, thank you guys so much for watching this breakdown. We are just about to finish our Season 3 rewatch, and we're going to put out an audio podcast about Season 2 and 3. And we are trying to rush through in the next 11 days to finish our entire rewatch.
4, 5, and very importantly, 6.
Yeah, so we will do our best. So keep it locked to @the100podcast on Twitter, the100podcast.com, all that stuff, or, all podcast services, youtube.com/DoingOK, all that stuff. And let us know what you guys think about this trailer, anything we might have missed, any theories you might have. And may we meet again.
May we meet again.